Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope all of you are fine. Okay, so today we will start with our chapter number 2 from Accountancy Part 1 of Standard 11th. The name of chapter is Dual Effect of Transaction and Types of Account. Okay, so in this chapter we will study about the two effect of a business transaction. Okay, two effects of business transaction, and also we will study about the types of account which we are going to see in future, like real account, nominal account, and personal account. Okay, so what are the things in that particular account that will be discussed, and also the dual effect of a business transactions will be discussed in this particular chapter. For doing the main transactions of journal, ledger, and subsidiary book, which are enlisted in our index, which we will study further. For that particular chapters, we will need to understand this chapter fully with your full attention. Okay, so I hope that any one of you will not do anything which can affect your further chapters. Okay, so please briefly understand this chapter, that will be helpful to you in doing the further transactions when we will see the new chapters in which we have to do practical sums and transactions. Okay, so this is the main basic. Okay, in chapter number 1, the things which we have studied were the basic theory which understands you about the things which we have to see in accountancy. Okay, so that was the main basic of full accountancy syllabus, in which there were the normal terms which you have to be used to in your normal accountancy practices. Okay, but in this chapter we will study about the effects of transactions and types of accounts which are beneficial to do any type of business transaction and any type of sum which are asked in our examination. Okay, so this is an important chapter for doing the further practical chapters which we are going to study. Okay, so as I have said earlier, that in this chapter we will study about the dual effect of business transactions. Okay, so first of all, let us classify the things about the business transaction. Okay, so business transaction is divided into two branches. Business transactions are divided into two branches. Number one is our economic transaction. Number 2, non-economic transactions. Okay, the things which we are discussing today, please write in your notebook. This can be proved helpful in your future. Okay, so economic transactions and non-economic transaction are the two main classified way of business transaction. Okay, both of this transaction happens in the business, but these transactions means economic transactions are recorded in our accountancy, and non-economic transactions are not recorded in our accountancy book. Okay, so economic transactions, first of all we are clarifying the concept. Okay, so here I said that we are recording economic transactions, we are not recording economic transactions. Okay, in first chapter we have discussed that the transactions in which there is exchange of money means transaction happens by the medium of exchange as money. Okay, that are termed to be the business transactions. Okay, so and all the business transactions which are done with the help of money as a medium of exchange are recorded in our bookkeeping or accountancy. Okay, so we can say that in economic transactions, in economic transactions we will see the exchange of money, and in non-economic transaction we will not see the exchange of money. Okay, these are also transaction, but we will not see the exchange of medium as money. Okay, I hope I am very clear to you. We have also studied about the economic activity and non-economic activity while discussing organization of commerce, OC. In that also we have discussed like that economic activity are activity in which the aim of the person doing business is to earn profit, and in non-economic activity the aim of the person is to do service or provide services. Okay, moving further, economic transaction doesn't classify itself as there is no medium of exchange as money, but economic transaction is further classified, okay, into two parts. One is cash or credit transaction, cash or credit transaction, and another part is internal or external transactions. Okay, so in economic transaction we will see two type of transactions. Number one, under economic transaction is cash transaction or credit transaction. Number two, under economic transaction is internal transaction or external transactions. Okay, we can separate it and write two. Okay, now we will understand both of these things. Okay, cash transactions. Cash transactions are the transactions in which exchange of money, exchange of money is instant, is instant. Okay, suppose as an example we can say that a person performing a business, okay, customer goes to that particular person and asks for a commodity. Example, as a commodity we will think about a mobile. Okay, mobile shop owner will show different types of commodity to the customers. Okay, now as an example, we say that person selects the mobile named Note 10. As an example, person selects a mobile named Note 10. Now, he has two options. He can pay money instantly, or he can pay money at credit. Okay. If the person who wants this mobile pays the money instantly, we evaluate price of a phone as 50,000. Okay. So if the customer pays money of mobile worth rupees 50,000 instantly, then that transaction will be cash transaction. And if the person pays money after a month, after a month, he will pay the same amount, 50,000 worth only. Okay, but we can see the difference. Here the mobile is purchased, money is given instantly, transaction will be cash. Mobile is purchased but money is not given. Okay, money will be paid after 1 month, then the transaction will be credit transaction. Okay, credit transactions creates relation, but with whom? Creates relation between whom? Credit transaction creates relation between the debtors and creditors. This is very important thing, please be attentive. Okay, the word creditor and debtors which we see in accounts are totally based on credit transaction. Okay, when there is credit transactions, okay, then there will be arising two parties, namely debtors and creditors. Okay, so here in this particular example of mobile phone, the debtor is owner of shop and the creditor is one who purchase mobile, one who owns mobile. Okay, means the creditor has purchased. Please keep in mind, creditor is always the purchaser of goods, while the debtor is always the seller of the goods. Debtors will always receive the money, while creditors will always give the money. Okay, I think it should be very clear. Okay, so we started with business transactions. In that we have seen two kind of transactions, namely economic transaction and non-economic transaction. In economic transaction, further we have classified into two types, that is cash transaction or credit transaction and internal or external transaction. Moving further, we have discussed cash transactions in which money is exchanged instantly in exchange of a particular commodity. And in credit transactions, money will be given after the purchase of commodity. Okay, so simple. And in further, we discussed credit transactions, relation, debtors and creditors. Debtors will receive the money, creditors will always give the money. Okay. So keep in mind, these are the basic things which will be very much helpful for you in your whole commerce background. Okay. If you know these concepts, then you are the king of accountancy. Okay, because these are the real basics. These are the real basics. Okay, normally the teachers will not give time in this particular terms because you will see enough times in your whole accountancy 11th and 12th class. Okay, but according to my view and my opinion, these concepts are very important for understanding the further accountancy in easy way. Okay, so please note it down, keep in your mind. This will be very much helpful in bifurcating the different kind of transactions regarding to the debtors and creditors. Okay, we are going with the series of transactions, series of events, series of terminologies which can be easy for you to connect it with your normal business transactions. Okay, moving further, we have seen other two transactions under economic transactions, second type, that were internal and external transactions. Okay, internal transactions are the transactions which happens in the business, or we can be more clear, inside the business. Okay, internal transactions are seen inside the business while external transactions are seen outside of business. Okay, so what are these kind of transactions? The transactions which are happening inside, like depreciation, loss due to certain things, loss due to accidents. In accident, there are different things like fire, theft, etc. Okay, so these are the internal transactions. Okay, there is no outside party included in this type of transactions. Okay, and in outside of business, okay, means external transaction, there are transactions like wages to workers. Okay, interest received, we can more classify it, interest received from bank. Okay, so wages will always be paid to the workers, interest will be received from bank. So bank is an outside party, worker is an outside party. Here we receive the amount, here we give the amount, and here we receive the amount. Okay, wages will be paid, so we will give the cash, and interest is received, so we will earn the income. Okay, so these are the example of the transactions which happens outside and we record it in our balance sheet or accountancy. Okay, now the last term, we have seen the two transactions of business, that is economic and non-economic transactions. We have fully discussed in a clear way about the economic transactions. Now we will discuss about the non-economic transaction. non-economic transactions. Okay, here there will be no medium of exchange of money. Will not see money here as a medium of exchange. Okay, we can get a clear example for this. As an example, we can say that we are doing, we have already taken an example of mobile, so we will continue about it. Same mobile, not 10. Okay, so a customers like this phone, a customer like this phone. Okay, so but customer don't have money to buy this at this particular time. He knows that he will get money after 25 days. After 25 days. Okay. So, what he will do? He will go to mobile shop owner. He will say that I want to purchase this mobile. Okay. But I don't have money. So, I will pay you money after 25 days and then I will receive the delivery. So here what we are seeing that the customer is paying money after 25 days and he will receive mobile also after 25 days. Okay, so he is placing an order, he is not receiving at the same time, at the same moment. Okay, so the customer is just placing the order to the mobile owner, order to the mobile owner. Okay, so here we can see that there is no exchange of money. Exchange of money will take after 25 days and the delivery of good or mobile will be also given after the 25 days. So at this particular date when the order is placed, there is no exchange of money, there is no exchange of good, so this transaction is non-economic transaction. Okay, in credit transactions what the things will happen, uh, I am explaining it because some of you people will confuse between both of this transaction. In credit transaction, when the customer says to the mobile owner that I will pay you money after 25 days, you give me delivery. Okay, so person will get, the customer will get instant delivery, but he will pay money after 25 days to the mobile owner. Okay, so he will receive delivery of mobile phone before 25 days. He is not giving money. Okay, so transaction happen, exchange of good is done, exchange of mobile is done, but exchange of money will be done after 25 days, but transaction is done because the goods go out of the business from the mobile owner shop. Okay, but in non-economic transaction, at the particular date when the customer places the order, there is no exchange of goods, no exchange of money, so there is non-economic transaction. It is very easy to understand. Okay, I hope these terminologies will be very clear to you all. Okay, looking at these things, we will discuss the first illustration from our accountancy syllabus. Okay, first illustration from our accountancy syllabus. Okay, so illustration 1, describe whether the following transactions are economic or non-economic transactions. Okay, so we have to just describe the transaction are economic or non-economic. So in illustration 1, transaction number 1, asset purchased for rupees 10,000. Asset purchased for rupees 10,000. Okay, we are purchasing an asset of 10,000. Okay, so very simple, if we purchase the things, then cash will go out and asset will come in. So transaction is happening. Okay, we are seeing here the exchange of goods and exchange of money. Okay, so it is an economic transaction. Okay, second, asset purchased from Radha for 12,000 on credit. Okay, now let us evaluate both of this transaction 1 and 2. So you will get better understanding of cash transaction and credit transaction as well. Okay, while looking at the transactions, when we are classifying the transaction into cash or credit, we have to keep certain things in mind. In cash transaction, there will be no use of word credit. Okay, there is no use of word credit. Okay, so any transaction in which the word credit is not given, then that transaction is cash transaction. Okay, or the name of party 2, no use of party name. Okay, so I will let all the cases. Okay, as an example, we have seen that particular transaction. We can see transaction number 2. Here we seen that the asset purchased from Radha is name of party, 4 rupees 12,000 on credit. So both of this condition fulfills. Okay, means there is a word Radha, means party name, there is a word credit. So this transaction is credit. But as we see in the first transaction, asset purchased for rupees 10,000. Okay, asset purchased for rupees 10,000. There is no name of party, there is no use of word credit, there is no use of word credit, there is no name of party. Okay, then we can say that this transaction is cash transaction, this transaction is credit transactions. Okay, here we are seeing the transactions related to the assets. So things will change in further. Okay, we will see it. Okay, but for the level of understanding at the basic level, it was important here, so that I discussed it. Okay, so in credit transaction, there we will use word credit, or we will see the party name. Sometimes it happens like asset purchased for rupees 10,000 from Radha in cash. Okay, asset purchased for rupees 10,000 from Radha in cash. So here there is name of party. Okay, but this transaction will be cash transaction because we are clarified with the situation that the money is paid in cash. Okay, asset is purchased from Radha. Okay, but we have seen that it is not a credit transaction because we see the word cash in the transaction. So whenever you see the word cash with the name of party, okay, then the transaction will be cash transaction. Okay, I hope that it will be clear to you. Further we will take a note about it and we will see in detail. Okay, let us continue with our illustrations. Okay, so economic transaction. Okay, asset sold for 20,000. Sold mean cash will come and asset will be gone. There is exchange. Yes, it is an economic transaction. Okay, moving next, asset sold to Mira on credit for 22,000. So this is a credit transaction. this was a cash transaction. Okay, here also asset is sold, so money will come and asset is gone. Okay, so there is exchange, so it is an economic transaction. Okay, moving further, 8,000 paid for wages. Okay, wages are paid, so it is an expense, so the cash will be gone and we will give to this employees, so it is an ultimately an administration expense. Okay, means it is a service. Okay, expense is paid against the service. Ultimately transaction is happening, we are giving money to someone and someone is providing us service, because wages are provided for the purpose of service. Okay, so it is an economic transaction. 6, 9,000 received for rent. Rent is received, so cash will come. Okay, and ultimately we have provided the service. Okay, we have provided the સર્વિસ. ઓકે, આપણે કોકને આજે કંઈક મકાન છે રેન્ટ ઉપર આપીએ તો એની સામે આપણે પૈસા લેશે, because we are providing that service. So it is an economic transaction. Liability of 15,000 is settled. Liability of 15,000 is settled. Liability means we have to give the money. Okay, someone is our creditor and we have to give them money, so money will be paid to him. Okay, and if the person is asking us for money, then we have definitely taken some services from him. Okay, so we have definitely taken services from him and we have to pay for it as a liability of rupees 15,000. So there is a transaction. Okay, we are paying it and we also get the services from that particular person. Okay, so it is an economic transaction. Receivables, same thing, we have to receive money from some person. Okay, for giving the services. Okay, so it is also an economic transaction. Okay, 9, an order is received to supply goods of rupees 10,000. Okay, so an order is placed, means order is received. Okay, we are the businessmen, we are doing business, we get an order, just get an order. Okay, we have not yet supplied the order, we have not yet supplied the order. Okay, so here in all the transaction you seen that we were getting cash or we were giving cash, but here we are seeing that we are not getting cash and not giving cash. Here we are seeing that we are not getting service or goods and we are not giving the service or goods, so there is no transaction happening here. So ultimately what we can say is transaction number 9 is non-economic transaction. Transaction number 9 is non-economic transaction. Transaction number 10, a planning is made to buy one asset. Okay, we are just planning the things. Okay, we are not purchasing it, we are just thinking that I will buy that particular house, I will buy that particular product. Okay, like that, means I will buy a Lamborghini, that is my planning. Okay, I don't have money to buy the Lamborghini. Okay, in future if I will have, then I will definitely buy it, but now I don't have money, I am just planning, I am just thinking in my dream that I will get a Lamborghini. Okay, so this is just an planning. Okay, we are not purchasing that asset now. In future there are the chances that I will purchase that asset. Okay, so chances are there. Okay, but here the transaction is not happening, I am just planning in my mind that I will do this kind of things. Okay, so there is no transaction happening here. So according to that we can say that this transaction is non-economic transaction. Okay, next, to enhance sales. For discussion, a meeting is arranged with salesman. Okay, for enhancing the sales means for increasing the sales, and for discussion with the salesman we are arranging a meeting. We are arranging a meeting with salesmen. So in meeting what we will do, we will do nashta, we will do different kinds of discussion, that how to increase our sales and xyz. We are not seeing any kind of transaction here, we are not seeing any type of exchange of money here, we are not seeing any kind of exchange of goods and service here. So we can definitely say that the transaction number 11 is non-economic transaction. Transaction number 11 is non-economic transaction. Okay, so in this illustration you have given answers too. Okay, so you can easily bifurcate your answers. Okay, I have already given the reasons for it, that why the transaction are economic and non-economic transaction. Okay, don't don't join the topic of cash and credit here, as I have clearly mentioned that here we are talking about the assets. Okay, here we are talking about the assets, because I know some of you will directly ask me questions while messaging that, sir, in answers given in the illustration, in reason column we are seeing that cash, but this transaction were credit transactions, you said in the explanation. Okay, but I also said that we are discussing about the asset, so keep in mind before asking doubts. Okay, you can ask me, okay, I will answer you, but please note down the things which are mentioned. Okay, I am trying to get the things clear in a particular order, in a particular format. Okay, so we discussed illustration number 1 here. Okay, next they will teach us how to identify the transaction is cash or credit. Okay, but the lecture is almost of 36 minutes from here. Okay, so almost 40 minutes for today lectures are enough. Okay, and normally this is the ideal duration for any kind of our lectures. Okay, 30 minutes to 40 minutes is an ideal duration of in chapters, because the in school when you are studying in the live meeting, okay, of any of your teachers, they're teaching you only for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes maximum. Okay, there is lot of disturbance is created by you, okay, for teachers, so they cannot teach you whole 45 minutes or 1 hour lecture, they will only teach you for 20 minutes. Okay, only because of that reason we have planned this type of things that will not waste our time. Okay, and we will learn more things, because for the purpose of enjoyment we have enough time. Okay, we will definitely enjoy in between. Okay, but we are just taking an advantage of time. Okay, we will always make enjoyment when we will meet physically. Okay, but here we have the chance that we can complete our syllabus with some of our efforts by giving more time to the content. Okay, and then further we can simplify the things and complete it with the easiness. I hope it will be clear to you all. Okay, so for today's lecture it is enough. Please note down the terms and complete the illustration number 1 in your CW book of our tuition class. We will meet tomorrow and we'll start with the illustration number 2, and moving further we'll discuss further illustrations and further terminologies which are given according to your syllabus. I hope that things will be very clear to all and you have understand the things which I have explained you. If then also you have any kind of doubt, then you can freely ask me. Okay, any concept that is easy but you have skipped it, you have not understand it, then you have right to ask doubt to me. Okay, પ્લીઝ થોડુંક ગુજરાતીમાં વાત કરી લઈએ. હવે વસ્તુ થોડીક મગજમાં એ રાખજો કે તમે આ વસ્તુ શીખો છો, બરોબર છે, તો એવું ક્યાંય પણ તમારા માઇન્ડમાં રાખતા નહીં કે ભાઈ સરને હું આવી વસ્તુ પૂછું, સરને હું આવી વસ્તુ પૂછું, હું સરને પૂછીશ તો સર મારી મસ્તી કરશે, એવું નહીં થાય. બરોબર છે, તમે મને પૂછો, બરોબર છે. ઓકે, તમને એનો જવાબ મળશે. તમે થિંગ્સ ક્લિયર કરો. તમારી પાસે આ મોટો એડવાન્ટેજ છે કે જે વસ્તુ તમે સ્ટાન્ડર્ડ 10થમાં પૂછી શકતા નહોતા, બિકોઝ કે તમે છે એ જૂની વસ્તુની નાના હતા તમે 6th 7thની અંદરમાં 8thની અંદરમાં તમે જે વસ્તુ તમે સરખી રીતના સ્ટડી નથી કરી, ઓકે, એ વસ્તુ તમે 10thમાં પૂછતા શરમાતા હતા. બટ અહીંયા એવું ન કરતા, બિકોઝ આ હજી બેઝિક છે. ઓકે, તો અહીંયા જે વસ્તુ હોય એ પ્લીઝ સરખી રીતના ક્લિયર કરજો, જેથી કરીને આગળ આપણે સરખી રીતના બધી વસ્તુ સ્ટડી છે એ કરી શકીએ. ઓકે, રિટર્નિંગ બેક ટુ અવર ઇંગ્લિશ લેંગ્વેજ, we will meet tomorrow. Okay, and we will discuss the further illustrations. Till then, goodbye, take care, have a nice day.